to this edition of USC Update. My name is Francesca Capetta.
And my name is Kelly Connor.
The high school counseling department will be holding an informational meeting for any interested 9th and 10th grade students and parents to discuss the redesigned SAT. This meeting will be especially beneficial for 10th grade students and parents, as the class of 2017 will have the option to take the current SAT and/or take the redesigned SAT. The meeting will be held on Thursday, April 23rd in the LGI at the high school. Recently, students at Upper St. Clair completed their first semester finals. Kelly Connor spoke with students and members of the school administration about the process.
From Monday, January 12th through Wednesday, January 14th, students at Upper St. Clair High School took their midterms. Midterms became a part of the curriculum at the high school in 2004 and typically count for 10% of a student's grade for the semester. I met with some students to ask them how they prepared for finals.
I used Quizlet links when on blended schools, did all the study guides, did all the work that our teachers gave us.
A lot of flashcards and just reviewing my notes.
I studied like a week before. I made note cards and study guides online.
After I met with the students, I spoke with Assistant Principal Miss Mosomelli, who told me why the administration feels students benefit from taking midterms.
We do feel that doing some type of large assessment does help in preparation for students in college. We know that some universities are moving away from finals and midterms, and that they are putting into place more problem-based assessments. However, we do feel that the practice of studying and preparation does, in fact, help students be prepared.
I also talked to Dr. Angelo, the acting high school principal, to discuss how the administration uses midterms.
Assessments give us a great deal of information about how to help you, the student, learn more and benefit more to be better prepared for college. So it's really critical for us as the educators to assess how well we are actually assessing you. Because of that critical information, we want to know if our practices are going to benefit you the most.
Following the completion of midterms, I asked the students to tell me what their hardest tests were and why.
My hardest final was probably my European history final or my calculus final, and they had harder material than the rest of my classes, so they were just a little more difficult.
I think it was my honors bio class, just because there's so much information that we had to know for it.
Physics C was hard because it was a big time crunch, and the problems were a lot harder than I prepared for.
I also met with Assistant Principal Mr. Beck and asked him if he thought midterms ran smoothly this year.
Yes, I do think midterms did run as smoothly as they possibly could. There's always a hiccup every once in a while, but even when that happens or transpires, teachers, students, our aides, and our administrators were kind of all in it together and really did make the process as smooth as possible.
In addition to midterms, Upper St. Clair High School students will also take finals in June to assess their knowledge from the second semester. This has been Kelly Connor for USC Update. The Boyce National Geographic Geography Bee was held in January 2015. The students competed in various topics such as team turf, weird but true, and world comparisons. First place winner was a 6th grader, Ishan Shaw. A few months ago, the high school held their annual Veterans Day Assembly. Here is Brendan Allen with a report on the event.
Recently, the Upper St. Clair High School held its annual Veterans Day Assembly. We spoke to Mr. Zelensky, who ran the event.
This year's Veterans Day Assembly I liked because I felt that we gave the proper acknowledgement of our faculty and staff veterans. You know, I always try to have a different theme for the Veterans Day Assemblies every year so that you guys don't get the same assembly every year. People in the military, it didn't matter if you were a cook or an infantryman or submariner. You were all taking the same oath, and you were all fighting for others, that idea of selflessness. The process for planning the Veterans Day Assembly is pretty detailed, and it takes a long time. You know, this year with our theme being honoring the veterans, the one main message that I was hoping our students would take away from this year's Veterans Day Assembly was the idea of selflessness.
I also spoke to Zachary Reamer, whose dad, who is in the military, spoke at the assembly.
I showed up in his room, took about 20 minutes of his class time, and we were able to nail it down. He was told he was given 5 minutes, so he had to get something worth 5 minutes, and then I just had to introduce him. So it's pretty much an hour beforehand, just have something, show it to Mr. Z, and if he liked it, it was good. Well, I think the assembly went pretty well. There's my first time up there was a little rough, but second time was better. I wanted to make it clear that it was him, he served, but I got all the bonuses and also took some hits. I moved, I experienced it with him. So, Veterans Day is all about the veterans, but I also wanted to call a little attention to the family members.
For Campus News, this is Brendan Allen.
This year, students at Fort Couch celebrated International Education Week by participating in many cultural activities. Students learned about other cultures through sharing research, songs, dances, and food. Students enjoyed a West African drum and dance workshop given by Yamosa Kamara Drum and Dance. Fort Couch's very own retired secretary, Matula Rice, spoke with students about growing up in Greece, and students learned 2 Greek dances. The high school also celebrated International Education Week with a number of events. Here with more on the festivities is Noah Henning.
International Education Week kicked off on December 8th with the Global Quiz Bowl. On the second day of International Education Week, speakers came to the high school to talk to the students about a range of topics from healthcare to human trafficking. The speeches were a great lead-in for the third day of International Education Week, which was the Action Day. We talked to Mr. Tani for more details.
This is the first year that we've had Action Day as part of International Education Week. December 10th is International Human Rights Day, and we are having booths around the theater lobby so that students can actually take action. They can take action to stop poverty in the world, environmental action, to stop human trafficking, and to pledge to end violence against women, that sort of thing. And so far we've had great participation, and students are very interested in many of these campaigns.
The following day, students from Obama High School came in to participate alongside the Upper St. Clair High School's IB students in a student-run simulation. Each table of students represented a country or organization involved in a border dispute centered around a temple in Asia. To close out the week, students participated in a talent show during the lunch months. From Chinese yo-yos to brass ensembles, students displayed a wide variety of talents throughout the show. Thanks to the staff and student support, International Education Week has been a hit this year and will hopefully remain to be so in the coming years.
From February 4th through 6th, 2015, 3 members of the Upper St. Clair High School Orchestra participated in the PMEA District 1 Festival at Penn Hills High School. Students were selected for this festival based on recommendations by their orchestra directors and general music performance credentials. The students from Upper St. Clair who participated in the festival were Mary Molatoris, Andrew Core, and Alexis Scott. Following her audition on the viola, Mary Molatoris was also chosen for the inclusion in the Western Region Orchestra Festival, which is held in early March. The music department at the high school will be putting on their annual spring musical in March. Here with a preview of Kiss Me Kate is Carly DeCock.
The Upper St. Clair Music Department is proud to announce Kiss Me Kate as the 2015 high school musical. Students in the cast, crew, pit, and student staff are working hard to get the show ready for performances taking place in the first 2 weekends of March. We spoke to USC senior Kelly Connor about her responsibilities as student director of Kiss Me Kate.
As the student director, I take charge at rehearsal. As the cast members arrive, I take attendance, and then when our adult director, J.R. Hall, is ready to start, I make sure that he has everything he needs, and I write down his blocking notes as he stages the scenes. And then I also act as a coordinator between the different production departments, so we have costumes, makeup, pit, vocals, and I make sure that everyone can communicate with each other and knows what to do. This year I'm really excited about it because I'm training a sophomore named Alexa Rigger to take my place next year. I'm a senior, so I needed someone else who would be able to be the student director next year, and she looks really promising. She's following me very well, and I'm proud of her for that.
We asked dancer Mackenzie Damon about what she's looking forward to in the upcoming musical season.
I'm looking forward there's a lot of big dance numbers, which I'm really excited about because last year we didn't really have that, and the dances were a lot simpler, but this year, or at least how it looked from the dance audition, it looked a lot more complicated.
Tom Madigan, Megan Jones, and Johnny Summers are a few leads who are excited for musical, but for different reasons.
It's my first year doing cast, so I'm expecting great things from my fellow cast members, and I'm really excited to just kind of delve into acting for the first time.
I play Lily in Kiss Me Kate, and I'm excited for musical because I love the music and I love all the people that are in it.
I'm excited for musical mainly because they give us honey buns every year and we steal them all. So.
Kelly Connor tells us about the Kiss Me Kate Company's goals for the season.
I'm especially excited for the show this year because last year we did All Shook Up and we had a lot of nights that were sold out. So I'm hoping that maybe we'll be able to keep that track record up, and we'll also have lots of sold out nights this year. The cast is really great. We double cast most of the main roles. Everyone was just so talented that we wanted to give everyone a shot this year. So I think that it'll be great, and I think the audience will love it as well.
Like the rest of the Kiss Me Kate cast, crew, and pit, Cassidy Porstel anticipates the inevitable musical bond that's formed from the process.
You end up forming a little family within the musical at the end.
You can see these hardworking students in Kiss Me Kate on March 6th, 7th, 8th, 12th, 13th, and 14th on the USC High School stage. This has been Carly DeCock with USC Update.
Do you know that USC has its own student art and literary magazine? It is called Montage, and the staff wants to publish your art and writing. All you have to do is submit online by using the Student Links page and the Montage icon. The online submission process is very easy and will take JPEG images and Word documents and other formats. If you want to submit a paper copy, you can do that too. Either give your work to Ms. Bucilli in room 116 or submit it to the English planning room. Montage wants your anime, your cartoons, your musical scores, your poetry, your stories, your drawings, and your photographs. They publish it and sell the issue to the student body. See your name in print. Find an audience for your work. Submit to Montage. It is easy and fun. The Montage staff will be taking pre-orders for our award-winning arts and literary magazine during lunches. The magazine of student art and writing will be on sale for $10 now and $15 later. So, take advantage of the discount and buy your 2015 issue during your lunch. The Montage also conducted a raffle recently. Here with more on the story is Kelly Connor.
From Friday, December 12th through Monday, December 22nd, Upper St. Clair High School's literary arts magazine, Montage, hosted its annual raffle, during which students and teachers had the chance to win prizes such as gift cards, movies, and museum passes. I met with John Benhart, Montage's editor-in-chief, to learn more about the magazine.
Montage is the literary arts magazine at the high school, and we collect work from students and also the faculty. And we publish at the end of each year a book filled with photography and then painting and drawing and then short stories, poems, anything you can write pretty much, other than your English essay. Although if it's a creative, then we take that too.
John also recounted the raffle process for me.
We start talking about it as a club in the beginning of the school year, and then we come up with all of our raffle tickets, and then we come up with our baskets. And so what we do for that is we send out emails and then mail and just regular letters in the mail to different businesses throughout the region. And then we usually get people like the Wild Things and all the different museums in town to donate. And so then we compile each of those into a basket, and then we sell raffle tickets for those baskets during lunch mods and other mods throughout the day during the beginning of December.
Following the selection of the winners of the baskets, Ms. Bucilli, Montage's sponsor, described how the Montage serves not only as a creative publication, but also as a piece of history.
It's one of those things that once it's published, it sort of has an identity of its own, and then the writer can let go, or the artist can let go, and it will be there for posterity's sake. So I think that the Montage is very, very important.
The next edition of Montage will be available in May 2015. Reserve your copy today. This has been Kelly Connor for USC Update. Every year, an organization known as the Cultural Communications Alliance works with Pittsburgh area high school teachers to introduce international business concepts to their students using an international case competition. High school teams work on their project throughout the year before the competition final presentations are held in May. This year's product for the competition is Dr. Scholl's insoles, and the target market is Indonesia. Approximately 6 teams at Upper St. Clair High School are preparing their marketing strategies. They will participate in a school-wide competition on April 8th. The winning team will go on to the regional competition on April 28th at the University of Pittsburgh. Students involved in the high school STEM department have spent their year working on a number of projects. Here with more on STEM is Jackson Sandusky.
Change the world. That's the motto of STEM. STEM is a club made up of 33 students from Upper St. Clair and South Fayette. Their goal? Solve real-world business problems. The students are required to solve problems on their own and find innovative ways to improve business products. We asked student Eliza Brusky to comment on STEM and why she joined.
I joined STEM because it was interesting to me and it seems like something I would want to do in the future. My favorite part is the freedom that we have to pretty much do what we want and teach ourselves and learn in our own way. At the end of this slide there is another website for more information about that.
We caught up with Alex Galmus to talk about particular skills needed to be successful in STEM.
Hands-on work. Hands-on work by far, because you need to be experienced in the field. You need to be on top of your game all the time, meaning you have to be focused and doing things with basically your hands. You need to be creative and open-minded when you're thinking about solutions. That's part of a business anytime. You will have to collaborate with branches out of state, out of far away, and you will have to collaborate with them anyways, so I feel like it's preparing us for more of a business-like fashion.
Upper St. Clair students are taught by technology expert and high school teacher Fred Piskorski.
Mr. P is always really helpful. He loves to look over our presentations if we ask him to, and he's always willing to make corrections and give suggestions and feedback. Besides this class, he's also really helpful with using the equipment in the lab. That's all really new to us, and he knows the program is better than anybody else. We've basically formed our proposals from just conversing as a group and just trying to sum all our thoughts together the best we can.
Science, technology, engineering, and mechanics. 4 areas where STEM looks to improve students from Upper St. Clair and South Fayette and really develop their skills to become better business leaders in the future. From USC Update, I'm Jackson Sandusky.
The speech and debate team has won 2 of its last tournaments and placed in the top 3 of each tournament so far this season. Senior leaders include the public forum debate teams of Washab Kuwal Ramani, Eliana Andreko, Brian Kaplan, and Morgan Cook, who are a combined 46-6 since the beginning of December, and humorous interpretation specialist Shriparna Sen, who has won 3 of the last 4 tournaments. The high school dance team has performed at a number of school events and competitions this year. With more on the dance team season, here is Tia Watts.
The Upper St. Clair High School dance team had a busy weekend last week when they performed at the Friday night basketball game against Peters Township and at Coastal Cheer and Dance competition downtown at the Peterson Event Center. We spoke to junior Emily Brinsky before her big performances about why she's excited for the game and what the competition is like.
We get to see all our peers and they get to cheer us on, and I love dancing. It's at the Peterson Event Center. It's called Jam Fest, and we're not performing against anyone competing against anyone because our division's so small that no one competes at local events.
Right before the big game, we caught up with sophomore Ashley Burkett about why it's important for the dance team to perform at the halftime show.
I think it's a good thing that we're performing at the basketball games because we're like entertainment and we want to show off what we've been practicing for the last couple months.
Senior Abigail DeFazio, a new student to USC, told us about why she's excited to perform at her first basketball game and also why she feels the dance team should make an appearance at the games.
I'm really excited because it's like our first basketball game and the team's really close and it just feels good being together, and I think our dance is really solid and I think we work well together and that we pull it together as a group very well. I think it's a good thing that the dance team performs at the basketball games because it gets us out there and it helps us for competition to be in front of an audience, and you've got to have your facials and just be ready in front of everyone, and it lets people know like who we are, so like if someone wants to try out next year or something, they can.
The dance team got the student section pumped for the second half of the game and took home first place at Coastal Cheer and Dance Competition. They will be performing again on January 23rd at the game against Bethel Park, and they will be going to nationals this February. This has been Tia Watts for USC Update.
New this year, the high school counseling department will be offering a 2-week ACT prep class. The class will meet 2 times a week, Tuesday and Thursday, from 7 to 9 p.m. beginning April 7th. The cost is $100, which includes the book. Class size is limited to the first 20 participants. Registration forms are available in the counseling office and on the counseling webpage. The deadline is March 20th. The high school library always has something going on. Whether students are doing research for papers or just using the space to study, the library is always busy with activity. Here with more on what's going on in the library is Surya Raju.
To find out more about programs at the USC High School Library, we went to talk to one of the librarians. There we met up with Mrs. Rentschler, who told us about one of the already existing programs.
Some existing programs we have here is the Library Media Assistance Club, where we encourage students to sign up and work at the circulation desk during his or her free mods. Homework always comes first as a responsibility, as does studying for tests. So if you are interested in working as a library media assistant or LMA, it means that you can do so without feeling pressured that you won't have your free mod to do your work or to study. You can also get community service hours, IB hours, or National Honor Society points for helping us out in the library. We welcome you to come and see either me or Mrs. Despinis, and we would love to have you come and help us out.
We then asked about any new programs, to which Mrs. Rentschler replied with,
I'm very excited to tell you about an author who's coming here to speak to our students. It is Amy S. King. She's known as A.S. King, and she's written a lot of young adult novels. She concentrates on protagonists who have to deal with typical high school problems such as bullying, not being in the popular in crowd, having trouble maintaining all A's, personal family problems at home, that sort of thing. And a lot of students really enjoy her books. She relates very well to students, and she's going to talk to us about the creative writing process and also how, as a teenager, one should not get stuck in all of those high school problems, how one should be able to get beyond them, past high school, and become a successful, happy, well-adjusted adult.
We hope students try and enjoy these programs. This has been Surya from USC Update.
The 2014 Montage won first place in the American Scholastic Press Association contest and achieved the ranking of superior in the National Council of Teachers of English contest. Editors include John Benhart, Kelly Connor, Brooks Wilding, Sarah Saitanakis, Sarah Myman, and Liam Collar. Before winter break, the high school held its annual Holiday Hoops tournament. Here with more on the event is Tyler Clark.
This past winter, the Upper St. Clair High School held its annual Holiday Hoops tournament for the Make-A-Wish Foundation, which helps grant the wishes of thousands of children with life-threatening illnesses. We interviewed senior Michael Paroli about how this experience impacted his overall life here at Upper St. Clair High School.
My name is Michael Paroli. I'm a senior. This is my last year at high school, and I'm really excited because it's my last time playing basketball here for the Holiday Hoops tournament. and I'm really happy to be in it. It's for a good cause, and I'm really excited, and I think Team Caroli is going to make quite a run. We put in a lot of work, and I think we're ready this year, and we're going to really give them a run for our money.
We also interviewed sophomores Brian Schrott and Ethan Marsh, who spoke about their teams and Holiday Hoops tournament and why they participate.
We're playing in this tournament for the Make-A-Wish Foundation, raise money for that.
It's a really good cause.
It is. Our team's not doing so well, but you know, we play one more game, try to redeem ourselves, you know, try to pull out the W. So
yes,
see how that goes.
For more information on the Holiday Hoops tournament, visit the USC High School homepage. This is Tyler Clark from USC Update.
Congratulations to the following Upper St. Clair High School students who earned recognition for their writing in the Scholastic Writing Awards, hosted regionally by the University of Pittsburgh's Western Pennsylvania Writing Project. Over 300 writing pieces from across the region were submitted. Students were mentored by Liz Cecilia, Tim Wagner, and Pat Palazzolo. Silver Key Award. Poetry, Aditi Chattopadhyaya. Short story, Mahima Reddy. Flash fiction, Mahima Reddy. Flash fiction, Aaron Graham. Honorable mention, short story, Mahima Reddy. Short story, Ben Nadler. Flash fiction, Ben Nadler. The high school has been using a mentoring program in recent years to help incoming freshmen adjust to the school. With more on the program, here is Francesca Capetta.
Varsity's at 7:30, dance team and comp cheer will be.
Upper St. Clair High School's mentoring program has acquired much success and is planning to further expand. The mentoring program is designed to help assimilate transitioning middle school students into the high school. One of the guidance counselors in charge of the program, Mrs. Kirk, described the early start of the program.
Okay, so the mentoring program is a program that I'm very passionate about. It was a result of a program or a committee of people from about 10 years ago that got together, and our goal was to talk about the transition from middle school to high school and how we could help our ninth graders, because we really felt there was a gap there in the work that we did with them, academically, socially, and really just overall how to function in the high school.
This yearly program provides junior mentors that advise the freshmen early in their high school careers. Eliza Luxbacher talks about the process for possible juniors.
It involves 60 rising juniors that are selected in the spring of their sophomore year based on an application and 2 teacher recommendations to become mentors during their junior year, where they are assigned to a freshman homeroom and they visit them every single Thursday morning during homeroom time, and they befriend the freshmen and they make them feel more comfortable and help with their transition to the high school.
The mentoring program not only helps students within the high school, but also at Fort Couch Middle School. Mrs. Kirk explains the impact of the juniors traveling to the middle school.
A few years ago, we started working with Fort Couch more aggressively. And one way, in June, we take a group of mentors over to talk about transition to high school a few days before simulation day, just to say, hey, here's the things you can expect. We give them information about everything, and it's sort of like no holds barred, just kids with kids, which is really nice. In addition, we do a bully prevention kickoff program with them where the mentors do like skits basically to emulate bullying, and then run a question and answer session. And that's a state mandated program, and I think it's really cool that we have kids fulfilling state requirements.
A new program is being started this year for current 8th graders at Fort Couch. Eliza Luxbacher explains the goals of extending the middle school visits.
The counselors at Fort Couch will give out a survey basically to the 8th graders, asking them what they're most concerned about, and so we can see really what the biggest issues are for them, because they might be different from year to year. And then we can best prepare ourselves to talk to them and prepare them for the high school based on what they need and what they're most worried about. We can break into small groups and talk with the students individually about their schedules, because coming from a student who has been through it and knows what classes are like, they can really offer great advice and information on classes. And other subjects that we will be talking about are getting involved, misconceptions about high school like drugs, alcohol, bullying, harassment, hazing.
The students at Fort Couch will be reassured this coming season because the mentors will be providing advice, and sophomores will be chosen to be junior mentors for next year. This has been Fran Capetta for the USC Update. Thanks for tuning in to this edition of USC Update. This has been Francesca Capetta
and Kelly Connor. Have a great day.